Good day, good morning. Welcome our PFC families and also uh, the estate professionals around the world. Today we have a great session on from refugee to a successful entrepreneur. This is my spelling, entrepreneur. I learned from my Australian friends. Maybe my pronunciation may be a bit different from authors, entrepreneurs. Today we have a, great honor to have Madam Dr. Emily Letran, the CEO of the Exceptional Leverage uh, Incorporated in USA, to speak to us about the development from refugee to successful entrepreneurs. And as you may know, refugee in this case, normally we mean Vietnamese refugee. I remember that in the 1970s, mid of 1970s or something, there are refugees from Vietnam to many places, uh, many countries, like in Thailand, Cambodia, or not Cambodia, Thailand, the Philippines, Malaysia, Brunei, Indonesia, and some other places from other countries. And then they moved to the US. And Dr. Emily Letran is also one of the uh, refugees in at that period. And she stayed in the US, and she is very successful in her business. That is Dr. Emily Letran. And as you may know, now she is also a TED speakers and many other things that I list for you to have a look about herself. And today she will speak to us. This is some thing very interesting indeed, how to develop herself very successfully. Although I myself is not a refugee, but I may not be as successful as she did. So I should also learn a lot from her as well. And I met Madame Dr. Emily Letran in Tokyo early mid of this May in Tokyo in uh, conference convention, the passport convention, something organized by the Global uh, Real Estate Alliance in Tokyo. She is she was a speaker there as well. So I met her there. And this session, as you may know, it is organized by our FIABCI World Council of Experts. FIABCI is the International Real Estate Federation. We have developers, brokers, appraisers like me, or property managers, bankers, and many other real estate professional related fields. We have different council. We have FIABCI World Council of Brokers, Council of Valuers, Council of PropTech, and Council of uh, investors or something. So we have different councils. And this council, PFC World Council of Experts, uh, this is about any other expert in real estate, apart from brokers, apart from those appraisers or valuers, apart from property managers, apart from PropTech and the rest. We also have a council of developers as well. We all always have a lot of activities for this council of experts. We have uh, a number of board members from the US, from Spain, from Romania, and some other countries. And I'm the president of this council. So now we will hear this session of the webinars. Normally, we organize every um, month, and we will put it in the YouTube so that you can have a look later. And also, we also ask for the PowerPoint or something from the speakers. So you can go back to our website and see all the speakers' in every month. So this should be very interesting for you to go back to have a look on this. So right now, allow me to let Madam Dr. Emily Letran to introduce herself before I ask the question. And this session will end in an hour, so that it won't be too long. 2 days ago on Tuesday, we have a session for around 6 hours from 9 o'clock in the morning in Bangkok to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But that was something about property management in terms of uh, shopping center management. But that was too long. This one will be just only for 1 hour. So, Madam Dr. Emily Letron, maybe you can kindly introduce yourself a bit, please.
Well, thank you so much, Doctor. It's my absolute honor to be on here. I know we have a wide audience related to real estate, and I know we met quickly on a little boat cruise. But I'm so honored that you invited me to come on, and I do want this to be more of an interview format, or we can talk with the audience, talk about different questions. Um, Am I still on? Okay. Can can you still see me okay? Because it's
Yes, I can see
yes,
you
okay. Okay,
beautifully.
I wasn't
Nicely.
sure I wasn't sure because I'm at a hotel. So you know how
I
at the
see.
hotel sometimes it go on
You
and
are in
off and
Paris.
I see. So well, I was actually born in Vietnam back in the late 60s during the Vietnam War. And when the Vietnam War ended, the communists took over. I grew up during that time. Both of my parents were teachers. So when the communists took over, they couldn't really teach what they were teaching before, which was philosophy. Because once the communists took over, the only philosophy they are allowed to teach is Marxism, Leninism, right? So they both became history teachers. And 1 year after the war ended, and the communists took over, my mom passed away. So I was 8 years old. And then a couple years after that, my aunt, who is my dad's youngest sister, decided to leave the country. This is where, if you go and search it up, this is the exodus of the boat people, Vietnamese leaving Vietnam because the change of life, it's the political. And from Vietnam, if you're in the north, you end up probably going to Hong Kong on these little boats, fishing boats. And in the south, you could end up in Malaysia, in the Philippines, Indonesia, or some people walk and they would cross the border to Thailand. So I was one of the lucky ones who made it to Malaysia. I was at Pulau Bidam for a couple months. I was 13 years old. And then when I came to the United States, I was very blessed. We got the help from the government. I got scholarships, grants to go to school, and ended up being a dentist. So that's where the doctor come in. So I'm a dentist, and just the way life takes you. I own multiple practices. I was focusing on learning how to grow the business. You'd be really It's really funny. I remember reading a book from Tony Robbins, Awaken the Giant Within. And then there was a real estate conference in Los Angeles that I decided to go, and I wanted to go listen to Tony Robbins. So I got all excited. I got there at 9 a.m. and the schedule said Tony's speaking at 6. So I was there for a whole day. I decided to go to all these real estate classes. And that was my first exposure to commercial real estate. I went to all these classes. I bought the courses. I go to the additional course. I started buying my own building, commercial building, have tenants and all of that wonderful things. And become a serial entrepreneur. I think that's what you call it. I do the dentistry. I'm very proud to have my daughter recently graduated from the same dental school as mom, 30 years later, UCLA. So she's joining me in practice. The two of us practice together with some associates and specialists. And I do speaking and consulting. I'm actually in Germany right now because I'm speaking to a group of women dentists in the next 2 days. It's called Dentista Congress. I believe it's the oldest women dentist organization in Germany. And then I also do real estate. So besides my regular commercial real estate, I've been very blessed to get engaged to get engaged in doing commercial luxury real estate with a division of Lamborghini. And so I'm here. I wanted to any doctor the doctor can ask me questions because what I want to share is, the mindset of focusing on certain things and making sure that we can do it well, that you set your goals and you achieve your goals, how to leverage your relationship, whether it is a relationship in real estate or maybe it's another business relationship, how to grow quickly and ultimately to have fun.
I see. Thank you very much.
Yes,
So far as I know, now you are in Germany.
yes.
Last month, you was in Tokyo.
Yeah.
Did you go anything, anywhere in between or something?
No, I actually came home, work for a couple of days. Then
Oh,
I'll be home for a couple of days next week, and then I go to Rhode Island, which is the other side of the United States,
wow,
to
yes.
also speak. So I think I'm very blessed to be able to travel and to share the message and touch any lives that they're supposed to hear this message.
Yeah. Oh, great indeed. Yeah, and also, you said you graduated from UCLA, very famous university, and your daughter also graduated from UCLA. Wow,
Yes, yes.
great.
I have a younger my youngest son just also graduated from there. So we're focusing
Oh,
on the cheap public school,
yeah, that is
and
the famous one, the famous one.
yes, yes, and they
Yeah,
happen to be famous too.
yeah,
Yes.
you are should be proud a lot of yourself and also your children. You have one boy and one girl, right?
I have two boys and one girl. So the oldest is a
Wow.
dentist, the middle
Wow.
one is a PharmD, which is a doctor of pharmacy, and then the
Oh,
youngest, he's graduated last year, and then in a couple of months he's going to Yale for a PhD in English.
wow, great. Yeah,
Yes.
very successful. And your husband also in real estate or something, sir, madam?
No, no, he's an engineer. He's
Oh,
an ex-husband.
I see.
We were married for 29 years and then it was kind of time to part. So
Mhm.
yes.
I see. And you said you also buy some buildings for your own. Very few agents buy their own buildings, but for in your case, you have your own building as well. Wow, that is also another step and stage of success. Yeah, indeed. Yeah,
Yes,
congratulations.
yeah, thank you. I think a lot of professionals, business professionals, for some reason, I think they're happily paying rent. They may have a
Uh-huh.
small office and then they just
Yes.
pay rent
Mm.
and they focus on other things. I always believe in it's like having your home, right? You
Yeah.
instead of renting, you should have your own house. So for business, I always encourage everybody to buy their own building. Uh,
Mm.
if if you don't own your own building, there's a building that you like, just go ask them if they want to sell it,
Yeah.
which is what I did. And a lot of time when I buy the business and the building is not for sale, I will insist that they
I
sell
see.
the building to me. I think
Mm.
it's great for leverage and
Yeah.
for you to grow because the building appreciate.
Mm. This may be uh, different from conventional belief that we just want to rent a home, rent office or rent home. Like today, many youngsters they believe that they should rent instead of buying or investing. What is your idea on this, madam? For
Yes, I
youngster who may not to like to rent or to buy.
Yes, yes. And this is something I learned from my classes in commercial real estate is a lot of time you can get a
Mm.
loan for commercial real estate based on the cash flow, right? It's not so much
Yes.
that you put in, you get it
Mm.
from the cash flow. And so I
Mm.
think a lot of the younger business professional, they may not have educated themselves. And by that, what I mean is, you go to seminar, you read a book, you actually have to treat it as a part of your business. It's not,
Mm.
oh, I think maybe I'll do that, right? You
Mm.
understand that you can build the ownership, and then you can have tenants, whether you want to deal with the tenants or not. There's management company, like you were just mentioned, the 6 hour seminar on managing commercial property. I think the belief that some for the younger people, sometimes what they thinking is, I'm not going to stay here that long. right? And
Mm.
maybe I'll set up my shop here, and maybe in 2 years I'm going to end up in another city. I think when you actually say, I'm staying here and I'm building my business here, I think you take your business more seriously, because you know
Mm.
that, you got to build a clientele base, and you got to build the goodwill and everything. I think you do take your business a little bit more seriously. And then even if you don't want to be there anymore, you move on, you can always still rent the space, right? Or you can sell it back, and then you can take the profit, the amount of appreciation, and you go and buy another one. So you're leveraging any time you're in a location and the effort that you use. You're leveraging it to the max. It's not just that one business. There might be, you may be renting it out to tenants, or people don't know you as just the dentist or the doctor. They know you also as somebody who own real estate, and it give you a different profile if that is what you wish to have.
Very interesting indeed. So that your youngster should learn from you that if we do our business, maybe we'll be more serious, that we have our own business, our own real estate, and this means our strong commitment to our business and also our brand, our pride, our profile, as you said. Yeah, very
Yes,
interesting.
yes,
And
yes.
last but not least is the leverage, and then you can sell it at
Yes.
a better price or something. Yeah, we
Absolute,
should.
absolutely,
Mm,
absolutely.
yeah, yeah, we
Yeah.
should
In
disseminate
my
this idea.
in my particular case, because I own the commercial real estate, when I
Mm,
need cash for another project, what I also do
yeah.
is I borrow against a real estate, right? So
Mm,
in a way, I'm kind of my own bank, right? I borrow
mm,
against the equity in the building, and
mm,
it is a lot better than borrowing against the equity in your home. So over the years, the commercial real estate has really helped me multiple ways, not just as having tenants. And I think
mm.
that's where a lot of time when I'm coaching and consulting with people, I help them see those perspective, because they may look at it and say, well, I don't have the money, I can't really buy this, etc. But actually, if they know how to structure the deal, and getting the right people to finance it, they can own that real estate.
How long have you been in real estate, madam?
I bought my first commercial building in 1999.
Wow, long time
So,
ago.
so it's been
You
a
are
little while.
dentists and
Yes.
also real estate investors. Wow.
Yes, yes. So over the years, and buy and sell and do a 1031 exchange in the
Yeah.
US. So yeah, and
Mm,
and so the newest one right now is working with Lambo Sky,
I
which
see.
is investing in the real in the equity of the luxury real estate.
I see. Mm. And in total, since 1999 until 2016, how many properties you bought already? Or how many
Well,
properties you occupy?
well, I bought multiple and I buy and sell them. Because
I
I'm
see.
not a commercial, that's not my main, thing. So,
Uh-huh.
so for example, when my daughter graduated from dental school, I bought her a dental office, couple 100,000. So, I mean, that's how I use my money, right? To acquire real estate, to acquire businesses, to grow the businesses, or right now invest in equity of luxury real estate. So there are different ways. I'm not your typical. I'm not your typical real estate investor. Put it
I
that
see.
way.
Yeah, you are
Yeah.
in different areas, not only in one area.
Yes.
So, in your opinion, what is the if we are foreigners to buy properties in the US right now, what type of real estate should foreign investor buy in the US, or which it should be the location to buy? Can you kindly recommend them, sir, madam?
Yes, I think if somebody want to do that, I think it kind of depends on, are they buying to live there, or are they buying just to invest? Because I think one of the easiest way to buy and to invest is something like a triplex or duplex, right? Where you can easily rent it out and it's easier to manage. I
Mm,
know there are people who do syndication, which is
mm,
obviously, apartments and things like that. and it takes a couple years before, they sell that, and then you get your return back. I think it depends on how much you want to be involved and how much you want to be in control, right?
Uh,
I tend to want to be in control.
uh,
So if my friend from another country was asking me, I would probably tell them to look into a duplex or like a smaller
mm,
multi-unit so they
uh,
can be in control. I personally like commercial real estate, as in a strip mall, right? Where you have tenants in there and
mm,
you make sure that it's the good tenants, right? The tenants they're not gonna move around. Like a
mm.
dentist, a doctor office, they're not
Oh,
gonna go here for 2 years and then move. They're usually there
I
for
see.
7 years, 10 years. So you have these long-term tenants, you have the cash flow,
Mhm,
right? And then so you can own that particular uh, piece of property, and you have the cash flow, you use that to pay for the mortgage. What it is actually those tenants are paying for the mortgage,
mhm.
right? You look at the
Yes.
cash flow and the tenants are paying for you. Eventually, you own it, but you don't have to put
Mm,
a lot of money in.
mm,
The one that I'm involved in with right now with Lambo Sky is they're going to build luxury towers, and these luxury towers will have condos, um, hotel, and retail. And so when we're investing money in there, it's not just in the real estate. We're going to be getting money out from all of that businesses. So
I
it's more
see.
than just real estate, it's also from the return of the business.
I see. So when you say something about commercial real estate, is it mean also multifamily apartments or something else as well? What are the
Yeah,
commercial
yeah,
real estate
they
you
can,
said?
yes, they can certainly do multifamily apartments. What I was saying is, it depending on the city, right?
Mm,
Apartments, some cities, people tend to move around a lot.
I
So
see.
you may buy the apartment and you have people in and out, in and out. Every time they move out, you have to fix up the apartment,
Oh,
right?
yes,
That's why I'm more partial to the commercial, like in the business commercial building,
I
because
see.
usually the business stay there and they don't
Uh-huh.
move in and out. But obviously,
Mm,
it really depends on your level of tolerance, and
mm,
how much risk you want to take, right? Because some people are risk takers and some people really want to play it safe.
uh-huh.
I have friends who say, no, I want to take my money. I'm going to go buy the land. I'm going to build this thing myself and I'm going to own this. And because they want to be in total control, right?
I see.
And then there are people who put money into syndication because they just want somebody else to do it for them. And then there's a combination like me with the luxury real estate project that I'm involved in. I want to be in control in the sense I want to know what's going on. I want
Mm,
to see how the project is progressing. At the same time, I know that there's more than one source of income. It's not
uh,
just coming from the rent or whenever they sell. It's going to be coming from all of the other sources. They sell the condo, the rental of the hotel, the retail sales. All of that is going to come in as a return on investment for me.
how many people working for you, madam?
Looking for me for which business?
I mean, this leasing of commercial real estate, there should be someone helping you to collect rent or to manage
Yes, yes,
or
we
something.
just have a management company that do
Uh,
that. Yes,
I see.
absolutely. So when we're talking about leverage, right? You don't want to
Uh-huh.
be owning a lot of businesses and then you're working too hard, right?
Mm,
So making sure that it's a business, you can build it where it can run on its own. Like it's like in
uh,
my dental office. I'm over
mm,
here in Berlin.
uh-huh.
In the US, the dental office is still running, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
But
of
because you
course,
have some
of course,
dentist
my
there.
daughter is running it, yes. So
Mm.
it's the same thing, right? Like so that's how I create the business, is it's always a business where I don't have to be there all the time,
Oh,
that
good idea.
I can oversee it, but I'm not tied in with the business. And I think real estate is a wonderful opportunity to not have to be tied in there. But
Mm,
some people, if they want to be in control, like I mentioned a couple of times, something like a syndication is not a good project for them because they can't be in
mm,
control. Because you're always
I
talking
see.
about a group, right? And then somebody else is, the general partner is handling all that, and if you're not one of those main people, then you're just kind of waiting for the report, and that may
Uh-huh.
not be suitable for a certain personality.
Maybe you cannot control properly if they are
Yeah,
too
right.
complicated.
So if you right, so if you want to be in control, then don't get into those projects because you
Mm.
cannot be in control for those
And
projects.
yeah, do you plan to be a real estate developer yourself as well?
Well, I think that's hard. I think right now I almost feel like I'm sort of a developer in the sense that, for example, when I went to the last conference, I'm meeting people and I'm
Yes.
talking to them and they have land and so they want to collaborate with us. So not so much a developer, but a connector to
Uh,
help the development projects come into fruition, right? So taking that message, we got this project going on right now where I'm talking to people in Thailand,
uh,
talking to people in Dubai,
yes.
in the US, we're talking to people in Vegas, Houston, Miami, Orlando, right? So, and all of these people are landowners slash developers. So
Yes.
I almost feel like I'm marry into it, even though I'm not the one, doing all the work, but I'm very much involved in all those steps.
I see. Very good. And I saw you traveling around to speak in many uh, arena, many places, and uh, uh, as a speakers, uh, maybe uh, like a professional speakers, also, sorry, frankly speaking, maybe earning some income out of that. That should be, I think it should be some certain amount of proportion, maybe one fourth, one third of your income from speaking or something, madam.
Yes, so the way that I'm doing this is I get paid speaking, right?
Mm.
Sometime in the US, especially, I would get companies that sponsor me.
Uh,
So they may sponsor me for the year. So let's just
uh,
say for that year, whenever I'm speaking, I will mention their company, I would endorse
uh,
their company. And these are companies that I work with. So for
mhm.
example, it could be, oh, you sponsor me for the year, and that could be 30,000,
Wow.
right? And so when I'm
Mhm.
speaking, I'm gonna mention their name. Internationally, of course, that doesn't really work.
Yeah.
But for example, for this speaking engagement here that I'm in Germany, they
Mm.
pay me to speak. I'm gonna be
I see.
speaking for 30 minutes. It's in a whole big congress, right? Everybody get
Uh-huh.
30 minutes to speak. They're taking care of fly, hotel. I'm in a five-star
Mm.
hotel, Hotel de Rome,
Yeah.
in Germany. So it's I don't know, $600-700 a night. I don't know. I
Mm.
wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah.
I just got here because they said this is where we at.
Yeah. You are
So
famous.
um
Mm.
no. And so what I'm trying to say is then beyond the speaking, when I'm speaking, I
Uh-huh.
also offer people consulting, business or training. And so there's income coming from that also.
Mm.
So it's not just getting paid to speak. I don't see myself as a speaker per se.
Uh-huh.
I see myself as a trainer, a
I
consultant.
see.
So yeah, so
Uh-huh.
I could be speaking, they pay me to speak, and then I have programs that people can buy, and that's the additional income. And when I speak on business management, I speak on high performance, which is leadership. And I speak on investment, not
Uh-huh.
investment as in it's not just real estate, because for me, the investment could be an investment in oneself,
Uh-huh.
right?
Mm.
Learning to be a better, whatever you are, a better dentist, a better doctor, a better investor, a better financial advisor, um, uh, knowing how to get more clients. If you have a team, how to develop your team and keep them engaged. And, if you want to have a side gig like speaking, how do you create something like that? So I help people with all that.
I see. Great. I'm so sorry that for this session, we don't have anything to pay for you.
Oh,
It
no,
is
no,
an
no,
honor
no, no,
for us to
no,
to have you
no,
here.
no, no, no. I'm explaining.
Yeah.
I'm explaining the
Yes.
speaking
Yeah, you
to
are
you.
very
Yeah,
great.
no, I
Uh,
yeah, no, I do this when there's synergy, right?
uh-huh.
And we met at a great event. Yeah, I don't have any problem going on and speaking. Or if you want me to come back and do a webinar, let's just say on certain things, I can do that. And no, we're not. we're not talking about money. I was just
Yeah.
giving you as an example
Yes,
of
thank you very much.
how
Uh,
a speaker could make money. Yeah.
yes, yeah, yeah, because you are very professional, and you maybe you can be also YouTuber or something as well.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do put some videos on there. I don't
Mm,
think
mm,
I'm on a lot of social media platforms. It's more Facebook and LinkedIn. So
uh-huh,
not quite YouTube.
mm,
But I have, online courses where people can watch,
uh-huh.
and I'm explaining things, I'm teaching certain things. Yeah.
I see. When you said that you are in the field of consultancy and also coaching or something, say on the case of investment, so uh, in some, what will you say something about investment for people who are interested in this field of investment? Maybe you can elaborate a bit about the investment in your idea.
Yes, I coach a lot of business professionals.
Uh-huh.
So for example, let's say I coach a dentist, and they telling me, okay, my lease is up in a year,
Uh-huh.
right? So now what should I do? I would advise them, we're gonna go look for a building, right? And because of my connection in area and
Uh-huh.
global real estate, I would get my friends to find them, the property, and I would help them go through the negotiation process and help connecting them to lenders because I have friends in that space also.
Uh-huh.
Um, if somebody were to come to me and say, "Hey, I have money and I want to invest in something," my first conversation with them is really to get some clarity. What is it that they want to achieve,
Uh-huh.
right? Because for certain people, maybe the investment is not, um, you know, real estate. It could be in a business. Because the real estate would generate income, but
Yes.
maybe the way that what they're looking for, they should be buying a business because the
Uh,
business also generate income. So because I own business and I own real estate, I think I can talk to them in both perspective and then see to find out what is it that they're trying to do. Would they be comfortable owning a business or do they just want to deal with real estate? Right?
yeah.
Because there are multiple ways, as you know, we can diversify what we own. Like I own dental office, I own commercial building with tenants, and now I'm investing in luxury real estate. I have somebody else that I met same time in Tokyo who wants to bring me in as a partner for a wellness center, right?
Mm,
And I'm very comfortable with investing in a business because that's what I've been doing. That's my business. So sometimes I want people to be educated in the sense that, be informed, right? Don't just
mm,
hear people say, oh, syndication is good. So then they're going to run out and find the next syndication and put the money in there
uh-huh,
without educating themselves and learning more so they will be better informed when they invest. So that's kind of my role when I'm speaking to people and I'm doing consulting.
mm. And another field you said the another field of consultancy or coaching is about performance. What do you mean by that, sir? Madam? Maybe elaborate a little bit about the performance of entrepreneurs.
Yes, the performance of entrepreneurs. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you lead a team of realtors, right? Like in the U.S., you could have an office and you lead your broker and you lead a team of real estate agents, and they're the ones that go out there and sell the real estate, right? Or maybe part of your team is doing the lending process. So if you own that particular business, how do you make sure that everybody is performing to the top of their ability, right? So we're
Uh,
talking a little bit about leadership. We're talking about marketing. How do we get more leads so all of these people can sell to the
uh,
leads? That's what I mean by performance. Performance meaning how do you grow business and grow your income? And it's not just you. It could be your team, people who work for you, your partners, right? If you're
uh,
working with different people and you're the only one working really hard, you're not going very far because the other people are the weakest link. So you
mm.
you want to make sure that everybody's at the same level, and that's the other part that I work with different businesses is to get everybody up to a high level of performance.
So this may be related to Vietnam. Uh, as you said at the beginning, you was one of the boat people, but I saw many Vietnamese or Khmer, Cambodian or Laotian who moved to the US, but some of them may not be as successful as you. So how you can differentiate from them, or how you can make a big progress compared with ordinary people. Maybe this should be something other people should learn from you.
You know, I personally, I've been very, very lucky.
Mm.
I think I read the right books. I
Ah,
read the right newsletter. I watched the right seminar, right?
mm,
Like I follow the right people. So I have that opportunity to learn. I think a lot of people in general, not just refugees, not just Vietnamese. I
ah,
think a lot of people they don't have that ambition, and they don't have that because nobody let them know, right?
ah,
Like you could do more. If
ah,
you're the employee, maybe you should strive to be the manager. If you work for somebody, maybe you should strive to own your own business, right?
ah,
Instead of renting, maybe you should own. So one of my wish is to help people raise their ambition and to give them the perspective so they understand that it is doable, right? Like if I come from Vietnam as a refugee and now I'm doing all these things, I'm sure it's doable for
ah,
everybody in the US or all over
mm,
the world. It's just that you want to have that ambition, you want to have that will, and you want to make sure that those things are valuable to you. For
mm,
somebody who just love to be at home and take care of the family, for example, when you say, okay, you should go and own this real estate over here, it is not in alignment with them, right? So you need to make sure that whatever you're showing them is in alignment with what's important to them. And once it is, then you can raise their ambition and then you help them achieve that goal.
mm. And what is your passion in real estate, madam? Why you come into this business of real estate apart from dentist?
Yes, well, my passion in real estate is, I think, very similar to a lot of people, is the passive income.
Mm,
Because I think a lot of people want that passive income. My challenge with some people is some. I'll just talk about my profession. So
mm,
let's say there's a dentist, and this dentist own a business, and then the dentist go, oh, okay, I hear that you can grow passive income. Let me go and do real estate, and then they're not paying attention to the business over here, right? It's the business over here, the dentist business, that's what give them the income so they can go and invest. So when somebody start doing that, I would say, you know what, make sure you optimize your business first.
mm,
And then you know that you can get the income from there, and then you can go and invest in real estate. So for me, going back to what I said earlier, make sure that you know what's most important and make sure that what gives you that income so you can go and invest. Um, a lot of time when I'm talking to people, sometimes the investment may not be the money, right? Sometimes you can go into partnership with people, and what you're
mm.
bringing is the knowledge, the expertise. And so don't think that you have to have a lot of money to invest in real estate, because
But
sometimes what you bring to the table may not be just money. You may be bringing more. Like I'm working with this team, and I've made some introductions. We haven't closed on anything yet. It's still real soon, but the introductions that I'm making is couple hundred million, right?
mm,
Um, and the what I'm bringing to the table are the relationship and these leads per se. And it may not be that it's me putting in, millions of dollars, but it's me bringing in those relationships. So think more is not just about the money. It could be the relationship that you're bringing to the table, and you can get involved in real estate.
but one thing is that maybe because you are a dentist, maybe you accumulate an ample amount of fund before you get into real estate. But for other people who are in real estate, particularly in realtors, they may that is maybe their first business to come maybe they did not have accumulate enough wealth to start with or something. This may be some difference or not, madam?
Yes, well, I think, and I mentioned earlier when I went to that one class, right, where they were teaching in order to buy commercial real estate, the bank is really looking at the cash flow. They're looking at how much you put in some money, yes, but they're really looking at the cash flow of that
Yeah.
particular real estate. I'm talking about the like a strip mall, right?
Uh-huh.
Like a business, commercial business building. So if you know that, I think what you would look at is, you know, there's a strip mall or there's a commercial building that is on sale. How many tenants are in there? Is it cash flowing? Maybe somebody just went out, and then maybe you can step in and let's just say you need a down payment, and let's just say you don't have enough. Well, you can reach out to family. You know how Asians are,
Yeah.
borrow from your family, right?
Yeah.
To make that down payment, because you know that if the thing cash flow, you're gonna get money back every month, and then you can take that money and give it back to whoever you borrow the money. I think if
See.
any one of us sitting there saying, I need to have X dollar before I go invest, most of us probably may not start, right? But I think even for me, if when I bought my first building, I borrow money, I borrow
Uh-huh.
family money to put that down payment,
I see.
right? And then when I go and I did a 1031, so of course the building appreciate, sell that building, bought another one, right? So now the other thing is you can also take the equity from the first one to go buy the second one. You can borrow against it. And if you need one or two people to come in with you, maybe you just buy, like I said, maybe just a duplex, right? For you to invest. I think what happened is sometimes people think this is what is it? They call it, this is it's like a sprint, right? It's not a sprint. This is like a marathon, right? It takes time, and you can start small. It's better than not starting. So maybe you need to maybe you get somebody to go in there and co-invest with you and just buy something small, and then eventually you grow. You don't have to go and try to look at the biggest thing and then say, okay, I don't have money, and then that's it. And then you try to save to get that money because it takes a long time to save. It's faster to invest a small amount and let that property appreciate, and then you can borrow against it. That's kind of how I approach it.
Yeah, good, because uh, families and friends also our resource to start with as well, and they are
Yes.
very constructive. And
Yeah.
let me just ask you whether you have been going back to visit your family in Vietnam or something, madam?
Yes. Well, the last time I went was actually about 10 years ago. I don't have
Ah,
any immediate family back there anymore. I have
oh, I
um
see.
I have one uncle
Uh-huh.
and one aunt left.
Oh, I see.
My mom's side, everybody passed away. My dad's side, they had 12 children, and
Uh-huh.
there's only
12
two
children.
alive.
Wow.
Yeah, my grandma.
Uh,
So I haven't gone back to visit because when I go back now, it's just visiting cousins, and then all
uh-huh.
these cousins have kids, and I really don't know the kids.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it is in the plan to go back and visit home.
Uh-huh.
And my kids talk about it. When they were younger, we have gone several times, and then when their paternal grandmother passed away
Uh-huh.
because of Alzheimer, like she had Alzheimer and she
Oh,
passed
I
away,
see.
it was kind of okay. So who do we visit? So that's why I haven't gone back recently.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you are something like a Viet Kiều, the overseas
Yes,
Vietnamese.
yeah,
Uh,
that's what
uh,
that's what they say. Yes.
yeah. In the past, I was working for Bộ Tài chính, the Ministry of Finance in
Uh-huh.
Vietnam as well. Yeah. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, I recognize that now we also have our Vice President of the FIABCI World Council of Experts, Mr. Joshua Duncan. You may know that he is now in maybe somewhere in New York City or something. It should be
Okay.
midnight or something. Yeah. Mr. Joshua Duncan,
Yeah.
are you still there?
Yeah, Dr. Suppleton, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
outside
And
of
do you have
Washington. I'm
any
outside of
question or
Washington.
something? This is very interesting session. Please.
Oh yeah, I was just saying I'm outside of Washington D.C. It's almost 3 in the morning.
Whoa, almost 3. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm working on an assignment in Australia, so it's got me flipped upside down. So here I am.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
Well, thank you. Thank you
this
so much
session.
for attending. Hopefully there was
Yeah,
something interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's great. No, it's great to hear different perspectives. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, we also have one with Vietnamese. My good sister, younger sister. I love her a lot, like my sister, Miss Miley. Miss Miley, are you there? She's Vietnamese, and she also got married with PhD in architect in New York City. But
Okay.
now she's staying in Hanoi. I think it may be right now, or Carnegie somewhere. Miss
Mhm.
Miley, are you there? Any question to our speaker? Maybe not yet. We have Mr. Clayton Wade. Mr. Clayton Wade is an American, but he is our board member of the FIABCI Thailand, because he has been staying in Thailand for almost 40 years or something. He has a Thai, beautiful Thai wife as well. Mr. Clayton Wade, I think
Yes, sir.
you came here before me, because you get into this Zoom before me. I get in at around 12:55, but you sent me an email, WhatsApp, that you get in since 12:30 or something. So maybe you can kindly ask some question to our doctor, please.
Well, actually, I was really excited to listen to her today. I was a teenager during the Vietnam era, and I remember in my late teens and early 20s watching all these Vietnamese people coming into the West Coast, and I swear some of them didn't have shoes. I swear it. And 2, 3, 5 years later, 8 years, 10, all of a sudden they're millionaires. All these people were making all this money. They worked so hard. And I really admired you and a lot of your Vietnamese brothers and sisters for that. So back then, about 50 years ago, I'm 75 now. I told myself someday I'm going to go to Asia and I'm going to show the Asians that I can do it too. I did arrive with my shoes, but no, I really admire what you've done, and your talk today was great. Thank you very, very much.
And you
Well,
are
thank you,
75
sir.
now. Are you sure, sir?
It, you know,
Uh,
this year is
Actually, June 20th.
yeah, this year is actually 50 years, the end of the Vietnam War,
Oh,
because
I
it
see.
ended in 1975. And the way that I see it, and I appreciate you saying that, is sometimes when you have no choice, right?
Uh,
You're gonna strive. But I think one of the difference about the Vietnamese versus some other groups is um, we chose to leave the country, and a lot of them are actually educated, right?
mm,
They educated, so when they come, they do have some background. They may end up doing, odd jobs, but it's the second generation. That's the one where they come out as a dentist, as a doctors. It's funny. Last weekend, my kids told me they wanted to go watch this documentary about new wave music, which is the Vietnamese took that up, and that's kind of their music in the 80s. And I told my kids, I wasn't, first of all, I didn't even own a Walkman back then. And then New Wave is in English. I do not understand English, but my friends were all listening to it, especially the ones that came in 1975. But for me, though, it's amazing that these kids who were born in Pasadena, California, right? They now professionals. They want to look back, and they wanted me to go watch this movie, and it was a trip back to the past, obviously. And so I think with the Vietnamese, because we didn't have a choice, we left because we couldn't live back there in the country. And I understand there's a lot of changes now for the better. But back then in the 80s, when they first took over, I mean, we were standing in line to get food, kind of similar to Russia, right? Because I
I
was
see.
I was one of those kids. I have my notebook. I'm in line because we're gonna buy some rice or whatever food that we could buy for the country. And I did not realize how we didn't have the freedom until I got to the US.
I see.
I remember I got to the US in September, late August, and I remember it was Labor Day. And I asked my cousin, who had come in 1975, I said, how come nobody's putting on a flag, right? Like, you're supposed to have a flag in front of your house because it's the holiday, Memorial Day. I mean, Labor Day. And he go, if you want, you can put it on. We don't have to. But back home, they make you put it on, right?
Yeah.
So these little things that I didn't realize that was part of the freedom, because everybody had to do it. So you do it. You think that's how life is supposed to be. And then when we got to this country, I learned, oh, you didn't have to do this and that and that and that and that. And then I realized that is the life that people were losing their lives, leaving the country to get to this life. And thank you for seeing that, because now, I mean, actually, within the past 10 years or so, whenever on TV they show the refugees, right? Whether it's in the Middle East or wherever it is, I'm sitting there thinking, this is probably how they were portraying us, right? Back in the 80s. We look like that on TV. And what a blessing that we have now, that we have the ability to help other people, either assimilate into the life, or realize their dream, or, like I said earlier, helping people just raise that ambition that there's more that they can do if they choose to do it.
Great. Yeah. So this is a value of democracy that you learn in your life when you go to the US. Yeah.
Yes.
And frankly speaking, I saw many who did not move away from Indochina. I don't say any country in particular. Those who did not move outside to other countries like the US or France or something, but some of them become government officers, and they also have a very happy life. I mean, they have a very affluent life as well. That may be something that this may be a little sensitive to speak, but I believe that if we at that time we are forced to move away, and then you have a happy life, successful life like this, I think it should be somewhat better instead of staying there. But that may be a little sensitive to speak more. Any other questions so far? Miss Miley, are you here yet? Someone else? Anyone would like to share something? Mr. Navapon, Mr. Cham, something? Oh, there are many of us here. A moment ago, around 60, now 47. Okay. Miss Apisara, we have one from Nepal also. Mr. Gary Clappot, any comments or something? Mr. Len Sonobi, you may be from another region. Maybe I don't know exactly who you are, but where you are from. Any so far? Normally we have a lady from New Zealand, Miss Anne, but today maybe now it is around 8 o'clock in the evening in Auckland already. I don't know today. She is not here, but maybe she will come later. Okay, Madam, if there is nothing else, maybe you can tell us, encouraging us some words so that we can learn more to be more successful, and also this will help our young entrepreneurs, our young real estate professionals to work hard or to be with great progress, shortcut instead of have to go through really bittery experience. We have to do some shortcuts so that we will be more sustainably successful. Please, Madam.
Yeah, so well, I'll wrap it up in 5 points, right?
Yeah.
And these are actually, when I'm coaching people, these are the things that I emphasize with them. I think to be successful, the first thing is to have clarity. I mentioned that before. to know what's most important to you and to focus on that. I think a lot of time when people are trying to do too many things but they're not real clear why they're doing it, and then they get overwhelmed and then they give up, right? If you're doing something that is in alignment with your value, even when you have difficulty, a lot of time you won't give up because it's in alignment with your value. It's important to you. So first have that clarity. The second one is to have the energy. I know you were talking about people, the other gentleman, it's 3 a.m., he's working on a project. Not everybody have that kind of energy, right? And if you don't have the energy, you're not gonna be able to sustain and overcome challenges. So for me, focus on your energy, pay attention to your health, make sure you sleep well, certain amount of hours every night. I know 7 and 8 hours is what recommended. If you can't do that, but you can go through with 5 hours and make sure you consistently have that 5 hours. I think a lot of time when I'm traveling, people always tell me, "How come you have so much energy?" And and I don't think I do. I just know that I have the consistent energy throughout the day. And as I get older, try to listen to my body, right? If the body say, "Hey, you really need the 2 or 3 hours of sleep," then I'm going to actually give myself that. But pay attention to your energy, especially for speakers. When you're listening to speakers going forward, the one that keep your attention are the one that have more energy. The one that just kind of monotone and just showing graph or whatever, they'll lose you, right? So energy is very important. Having courage. We mentioned earlier, should you put the money into an investment property? Have that courage. Like, I got to do that. I got to take that risk in order to have that reward. And sometimes we may want to do it. We don't have enough courage. It's where the mentor can push you a little bit, can help you make that decision. Because if it's your first time doing certain things, you're not going to have a lot of that courage. Having influence. Meaning, how do you position yourself so where people look at you and they say, "I want to listen, to Mr. Clayton. I want to listen to Dr. Sapone," right? For me, the strategy that we usually teach people is to be a speaker. And trust me, this is me 10 years later, 10 years before. You give me the microphone, it'll be, I won't say anything. But because I have the message that I know I need to share, I force myself to be a speaker, right? And having the influence is if you're in front of the room. When you're in front of the room, doesn't matter, 5 people, 10 people, a board, 100 people, audience. When you're in front of a group, you're instantly recognized as an influencer. You can also be a writer, be an author. I wrote and co-author 17 books. I'm not saying that you need to do that, but it could just be a guide, right? You're talking about realtor. If a realtor wrote a guide, guide on how to buy your first home, guide on how to invest, do the first investment, guide to do syndication, whatever it is, right? That would also position you as an as an influencer. So we got clarity, energy, courage, influence, and productivity. We talk about that too. Being overwhelmed, trying to do too many things. Just focus on 2, 3 things. One of the things I learned from my coach, Brendan Bouchard, is called done by one, right? Whatever you're doing, just get it done by one. The most important thing, get it done by one. And then the rest of them you can do after 1 o'clock. But give yourself your own deadline. The problem with entrepreneurs, there's no boss, there's nobody pushing us. So we just drag and then we say, "Oh, we're gonna do that by the end of the week." And then the end of the week, and we say we're gonna do it next week. So because we are our own boss, there's nobody watching over us. Learn to set your own deadline so you can be more productive, so you can focus on doing few things that make the big difference. So those are my 5 points. If you tell yourself that, "Oh, I'm already doing this," I challenge you to do it consistently. Because some people say, "Yeah, I'm doing that." And then 2 months later, things fall apart. So do that, but do it in a consistent way. And that's where we coach and we have people become high performer is when they are able to do that consistently.
So actually, you sleep only a few hours per day.
Me?
Yeah. I mean, every
No, no,
day.
no. No, like last night, yes, I didn't sleep a lot because of the way the
Oh.
flight was, you know. I try to book my flight in the evening because I know it's a 10-hour flight. Stop
Oh.
in London. So I try to book it in the evening so I could work for a little bit and then I would go to sleep. Well, they changed the flight 3 times. So
Oh,
then
I
I
see.
ended up leaving at 3. So when I got on the plane, I go, this is gonna be screwed up because because by the time I fall asleep, I'm gonna be getting off the plane,
But
right?
normally,
And
every day you sleep for how many hours?
normally I know that I'm good 6 hours.
Oh,
So
great.
at least 6 hours.
I see. What
If
is
I
your favorite sport? What is your
my
favorite sport?
favorite sport is tennis.
Oh, you can
Yeah,
still run.
yeah.
I cannot.
Well, okay, find a slower
Oh,
partner. No,
oh, very
I
good.
think, to me, when I'm talking to people, I tell them, I don't really care if you actually play a sport. What's important is to move your body.
Ah,
There are people who sit at the computer all day long. I'm a dentist. I do sit to treat the patient, but
yeah.
we have 5 rooms and I'm jumping from room to room. And I'm
Oh,
I'm used to that modality, right? But that's me. I don't expect everybody to do that. But as you know, if you can walk, take a walk. You don't need to be training for a triathlon or whatever those are. Just make sure you keep your body moving, and that's how you sustain your energy. Like in between patients, I would stand up and I would move my body. Sitting on the plane for 10 hours. I'll get up every 2, 3 hours and I'll just walk the plane, right? Walk to the back and move my body around and walk back and because when you're able to do that, you get off the plane and you feel better. Because you have incorporate that kind of movement. I think the first time I visited England, I was talking to a friend and she said, "Oh yeah, I'm going home. I'm gonna take the train for I don't know how long, and then I'm gonna walk a mile home," right? And I'm over here
wow.
thinking,
You like to
you're gonna
walk
walk a
also?
mile
Very
after
good.
you take the train, right?
Uh-huh.
But if that's part of your life where you choose to walk when you could, I think you're gonna stay healthy. And then obviously the other part is, your mindset. Stop watching and reading trash, right? On social media or whatever. I don't even sit in negative conversation.
Oh, good.
People start doing that, I just goodbye, and I find myself an excuse and I just walk away. So when you are conscious about your energy, let's say your energy is at an 8, and you're sitting in the group and this energy is like a 5. You can sit there and let them drag your energy
Maybe
down,
toxic somehow.
or exactly, or you can just leave. But it has to be very intentional, right? So that's where the high performance come in, is you're watching those things. Like I'm watching my energy. I see if I'm real clear, what am I going to do today? And productivity. Am I doing whatever I'm supposed to do so I can get to my goal? So being
I see.
very intentional every day, I think that's if people can just kind of start with that, I think they're going to see that their life changed. Right?
And yes,
Yeah.
yes, it is. And as you said, you have 5 rooms in your dentist office. This means that your dentist office should be very popular, very much popular.
Well,
Many clients or something, so
well,
that you can
depend
hop
on
around.
yeah. Well, depend on the day, and
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, that's one of the thing I learned, as I said earlier, like studying, right? When you finish school, you treat one patient an hour,
Uh-huh.
right? When I come out and work, they just throw me into this clinic that has 5 chairs, and all of a sudden I'm supposed to be treating, 5 patients or whatever. But the mindset is you build it before you grow into it,
I see.
right? So if you're gonna go buy I don't know, 900 square foot office. My first office was 1,091 square foot, I remember, and it has 3 chairs. And in about 3 months, I go, I need another chair,
Oh,
because if there's an emergency come in, I gotta I need to have a place to sit people.
Oh, very big
right?
indeed. You can play
Yeah,
some
yeah, yeah. But
basketball.
but what I'm saying is you need to see your grow. You need to have that vision. Because if
Mm.
you're gonna go find the smallest, cutest place, and
Mm.
but you're gonna grow your business, then you're gonna be moving, and that's I mean, in hindsight, there's costs and a lot of things like that. I don't
People
mean
have to remember your new place again.
yeah, it's like when you buy your first home, right? In the
Yeah.
US, when they say buy your first house, buy a small one, and then you go to a big one. And I swear, the first house we bought, I told my husband, we need 4 bedroom. He go, no, 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 3 bedroom is fine. Well, guess what? 3 years after, we have to go find a 4 bedroom because we're having more kids,
Yeah.
right? But if he would just listen to me and try to get a
Ma-
4 bedroom, we wouldn't have to move. Because
Madam,
you know that your family will grow, right?
yeah, yeah. This is we have to foresee the future. This is another thing we should learn from you. Last question about
Yes.
something many people ask about the ask the celebrity. What is your net worth? Can if it is not confidential, so that people can do can set a milestone or goals similar to you or something.
Well,
If it is not so confidential,
yeah, actually, I'm not gonna talk about my net worth. I will tell you that.
no
I
worry.
think what's important is what is your goal, right? If somebody say, I want to be debt free, does it matter if they own 3 million or 5 million or 10 million? If their
No.
goal is debt free, right?
I
Now,
believe that you are debt free, sure.
yeah, but if your goal is I want 10 million, usually my question when I'm talking to them for clarity is why don't you want 20? And most people will not be able to tell you why they want 10 and not 20. They want 10 because that's where their circle of friends are,
I see.
right? Like I'm getting involved with this project with Lambo Sky, and they give me a pro forma and it's in hundreds of millions, right? Now that's not my goal. My goal is not hundreds of millions, and this is the first time I see these kind of numbers,
I see.
right? But would I have the ambition to do more? Probably. But now all of a sudden I'm in a different circle, talking to people and they're throwing around all of these big numbers. I think what's most important is to understand what's most important to you, your value, right? And really don't stress about it. So my point is, if you're gonna stress yourself out to get to 10 million and you are miserable and you're working all the time and you get to 10 million and you have nobody to celebrate with, tell me if that's good, right? One of my friends, she called herself the coach of happiness or the happiness coach or something like that. She's a dentist. And when she asked me to define happiness, I told her happiness is peace. And she go, well, I never heard that before. And I said, well, that's for me, and it actually was something that I realized after I decided I'm gonna get a divorce, okay? Because I go, I can be making all this money and I'm in this relationship that I'm not happy, right? And I don't see myself, 20 years in the future being with this person, right? So the peace is when I say, I'm done with this relationship. I'm just gonna structure and get out of this relationship. I was waiting for my youngest to turn 18. And so that's what I was kind of planning it, right? So now I have peace. I have peace. I'm happy to most days,
Yeah, I can see from your
Yeah.
face. So
Yeah, but I think that's what's important though. I mean, is it the money? Is it the net worth? Or is it that you're happy and you have peace and you have enough money to spend? I mean, you don't have to be debt free, but if you have a comfortable lifestyle and that's what you want, is that good? Let me share one story, and I'm sure everybody know this story. So the story is there's this rich man who I think, and I may not be all correct, he went to this little town and he saw this guy doing fishing, and so he was asking the guy, um, what you do, like what is your work? And the guy said, yeah, I go out and I fish and I feed
Fishing.
my family. And he goes, well, don't you have more ambition? Like, and the guy go, what do you mean? Oh, don't you wanna make more money, and then you can go and you can buy more buildings, etc., etc., more, have more things, and so you're rich. And the guy said, and then what? And he said, so then you have time to go fishing and enjoy yourself. And the guy go, I'm already doing that.
Yeah, I see.
I don't need to go and do all of that stuff. I'm already doing it. You want to go do all that stuff in order to get to this, right?
Yes.
So how many times, I think, I mean, if you're honest with yourself, how many times have you talked to people and they're happy? Clayton, you're in Thailand, right?
Yes.
How many of the Thai people who may not be rich and they're happy? Like they're just
Many.
happy. Many,
Yes.
many.
Including
Right?
Mr. Clayton Wade.
Yeah. And then we're over here in the US and we chasing this and that and we're trying to do better, and next year I'm going to do more. But what is it that you're chasing? What is it that you're after? So that's how I help people. Is sometimes they stress out and they don't know why they stress out. When I ask them what's important to them, whatever is important to them, whatever they're doing right now is not aligned with whatever is important to them. Like they say, family is very important. And then they
Right.
work so hard. They miss kids' birthday. They miss this or that. So my first thing to them is, that's not in alignment. You say family is valuable and you're missing your family because you're trying to make money so you can take your family on that expensive vacation, right? Well, go ask all of your kids which vacation they remember. They don't remember anything. A lot of time I have to pull out photos to tell them, I did take you there to Hawaii, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't remember. They
Yeah.
just remember that you spend time with them, but they're not going to remember that expensive location, the 5-star resort, whatever. And I know I may sound like I'm preaching, but it is the truth for a lot of people.
Thank you very much. You are very great.
You're welcome.
Your idea is very profound.
Thank you.
Mr. Clayton Wade, maybe you can say something to end this beautiful session, please, Mr. Clayton Wade.
Thank you very much. We've all really enjoyed your talk today. It's just been great. I heard there's an old saying that success is being satisfied with little. I would take that a little bit further and say success is being satisfied with what you have.
Yes. And people, like I said, sometimes people say they want more and they want more. And I always, the way I kind of get myself to be satisfied is look what I came with. Look what I didn't have 20 years ago, 30 years ago. So we really should be happy with what we have. Just like you said. Now, the difficult part is how to convince everybody to feel the same way. Otherwise, they drive you crazy all around you.
Yeah, otherwise, they might not be happy.
Right.
Okay, so thank you very much for today, for your very profound thinking and also good experience for us. So let's give a big hand to Madam Emily for today. Thank you very much. Xin cảm ơn.
Thank you.
Xin cảm ơn.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you
bye-bye.
very, very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Tạm biệt. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take care.
Yes.
Bye now. Thank you.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.